Aurangabad is a city in the Indian state of Maharashtra and the only tourist district of India having two World Heritage Monuments to its credit. Moreover, it is hoped that there will be good addition of two more in near future. You're watching The Voice of History. In this documentary video, let us explore the historiography of Aurangabad. It is the administrative headquarters of Aurangabad district and is the largest city in Marathwada region, located on a highly upland terrain, the Deccan Traps. Aurangabad is the fourth most populous urban area in Maharashtra, with a population of 1,17,05,116. The city is known as a major production of cotton textile and artistic silk fabrics. Several prominent educational institutions, including Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, are located in the city. The city is also a popular tourism hub with tourist destinations like the Ajanta and Ellora caves, lying on its outskirts, both of which have been designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites since 1983. Other tourist attractions include the Aurangabad Caves, Daulatabad Fort, Grigneshwar Temple, Jama Mosque, Bibi Ka Maqbara, Himayat Bagh, Panchakki, and Salim Ali Lake. Historically, there were 52 gates in Aurangabad. Some of them have extant, because of which Aurangabad is also known as the City of Gates. In 2019, the Aurangabad Industrial City, that is AURIC, became the first greenfield industrial smart city of India under the country's flagship Smart Cities mission. The study of history is the beginning of wisdom. So let us look into the historical background of this incredible city. The Satavahanas, also referred to as Andhras in Puranas, were an ancient Indian dynasty based in the Deccan region. Most modern scholars believe that the Satavahana rule began in the late 2nd century, that is BCE, and lasted until the early 3rd century CE. Although some assign the beginning of their rule to as the 3rd century BCE based on Puranas, but uncorroborated by archaeological evidence. The Satavahanas' kingdom mainly comprised the present day Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Maharashtra at different times. Their rule extended to the parts of modern Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. The dynasty had a different capital cities at different times, including Pratisthana, that is Paitan, and Amravati, that is Dharnik Tota. Aurangabad city has a very old story. Now let us go back into the time where we come to see Paitan as the imperial capital of Satvahana dynasty, as well as Daulatabad or Devgiri as the capital of Yadava dynasty. These two places are located within the limits of modern Aurangabad. In 1308, the region was taken over by the Delhi Sultanate during the rule of Sultan Alauddin Khilji, an emperor of the Khilji dynasty in the Indian subcontinent. Alauddin instituted a number of significant administrative changes related to revenues, price controls, and society. In 1327, the capital of the Delhi Sultanate was shifted from Delhi to Daulatabad during the rule of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who ordered a mass migration of Delhi's population to Daulatabad. However, Muhammad bin Tughlaq reversed his decision in the year 1334 and the capital was shifted back to Delhi. In 1499, Daulatabad became a part of Ahmednagar Sultanate. So now, in 1610, a new city named Khadki was established at the location of modern Aurangabad to serve as the capital of Ahmednagar Sultanate. In late 17th century, the Ethiopian military leader Malik Ambar, who was brought to India as an African slave belonging to the Nizam Shahi dynasty, but rose to become a popular prime minister of Ahmednagar Sultanate. Ambar developed the region as capital city and named it as Khadki. Within a decade, Khadki grew into a populous and imposing city. Malik Ambar cherished strong love and ability for architecture. Khadki was Ambar's architectural achievement and creation. However, in 1621, it was ravaged and burned down by the imperial troops under the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Ambar, the founder of the city, was always referred to by harsh words by Emperor Jahangir. In his memoirs, he never mentions his name without prefixing epithets like wretch, cursed fellow, Habshi, Ambar Siyari, Black Ambar, and Ambar Badaktur. In spite of such a huge destruction done by Jahangir, it took several years to recover, but unfortunately, in the year 1626, Malik Ambar took his last breath. Later on, he was succeeded by his son Fateh Khan and named Khadki as Fatehnagar. In the same year, Mughal Viceroy Khan Jahan Lodi advanced on the city, but retired at Burhanpur on being bribed by the Nizam Shahi commander Hamid Khan. With the capture of Daulatabad fort by the imperial troops in 1633, the Nizam Shahi dominance, including Fatehnagar, came under possession of the Mughals. In 1653, when Prince Aurangzeb was appointed the Viceroy of the Deccan for the second time, he made Fatehnagar as his capital and called it as Aurangabad. Aurangabad is referred to as Khuzestan Bunyad by the chroniclers of Aurangzeb's reign. In 1724, Asaf Jah, a Turkic general and Nizam al-Mulk of the Mughals in the Deccan region, decided to secede from the crumbling Mughal empire with the intentions of finding his own dynasty in the Deccan and decided make Aurangabad his capital. His son and successor, Nizam Ali Khan Asaf Jah II, transferred his capital from Aurangabad to Hyderabad in 1763. Hyderabad state became a princely state during the British Raj and remained for 150 years. In 1795, Aurangabad came under the Maratha rule following the Marathi victory in the Battle of Kharda, along with an indemnity of 30 million rupees paid by Ali Khan Asaf Jah II, Nizam of Hyderabad, to the Marathas. However, Maratha rule lasted for only 8 years before the city came under the rule of the Nizams of Hyderabad. Under the protection of the British East India Company, following the British victory in Second Anglo-Maratha War, during the period of the British Raj, the city was known as Aurangabad. Until 1956, Aurangabad was a part of princely state of Hyderabad during the British Raj, until its annexation into the Indian Union after the Indian independence in 1947 and thereafter a part of Hyderabad state of India until 1956. In 1956, it became a part of newly formed bilingual Bombay state, and in the year 1960, Aurangabad and larger Marathi-speaking Marathwada region became a part of the state of Maharashtra. Every land in this magical country has its own epitome of history. Aurangabad gives you an essence of its nature, culture, food, heritage and lifestyle, and fills your heart with its beauty. So here we come to the end of this documentary video. I extend my gratitude to each and every viewer of this channel for watching my first documentary video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, The Voice of History, and press the notification bell so that you will be notified when my next video is uploaded. And please do show your love by giving a big fab thumbs up. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.